with the Joe Request Show. As always, your host, Chris Honors. But guess what? Today, we got someone special. We're talking about fitness. We're talking about entrepreneur. We're talking about a lifestyle, amazing lady. Anyway, Aoife Roche, thank you for joining me on the show today. How you doing, girl?
I'm very good, Chris. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to be on with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for creating the time out to be with us today. If I would just want to get to know you more about it, I know I've actually said a few things about yourself, but I want my viewers to get to know you, and we can talk about your journey, all the things that inspires you, the good, the bad, and where you are now. So let's get to know you. Let's dive into it.
Okay, perfect. So I think what I'm most known for recently, in 2018, I decided to become a fitness model.
Mm,
And I've had quite a lot of success in the fitness industry. So I started out with the Irish Fitness Model Association. I
mhm,
won the world title for them. Then I said I'd take on the UK. So I took on the UK and I won the world title with them in 2019.
wow.
And then I said, right, okay, we'll give it another shot. We'll go to America, we're on a roll. So we'll keep going. I went to America. I placed second in America. But most recently, which was just at the beginning of November, I went because my last show in 2020 was a virtual show.
Mm,
And, like, because we're in this new COVID world, and I just felt it was a bit of an anticlimax to end my kind of fitness journey. So said I'd go back one more shot. And I
mm,
went back to the UK a couple of weeks ago and I won the overall bikini world champion title again.
wow.
So, yeah, so now I'm retired. I keep saying that, but I mean it this time. So I think that's what I'm really like, people see a lot of me online doing a lot to do with fitness and health, but really, for me, the
Mm,
fitness is just an expression of the mindset. And I wrote a book in 2019 called How to Think Yourself Attractive.
mm,
And in that book, now we're in the process of doing another edition of it at the moment, but in that book, I really wanted to help people connect the idea that it's your thoughts that create your reality.
true.
It's the belief in yourself that creates the reality. And
Mm,
because I actually was working in corporate. I used to be the vice president of franchise lending for Barclays, actually, was
wow.
my title. So I think LinkedIn thought I had lost my mind when I
Yeah.
was like, I'm packing in my corporate career and I'm going to become a bikini model. They were like, what? So it was a bit of a polarization.
Yeah.
And I think one of kind of my messages that I do try to communicate with people, it's never too late. And
Mm,
you're never too old, and you're never if you can believe in yourself,
mhm,
you're willing to put in the work, right? This is
mhm.
not just about positive thinking, it's positive thinking plus action, and you're willing to put in the work, you can actually go for your goals, even if you've taken, because I enjoyed my corporate career, I had a lot of success in my corporate career, but was I entirely fulfilled? Probably not. I kind of felt, but I never thought that I could be a fitness model because I thought people would judge me and they'd look at me and they think, oh, who does she think she is? All of this dialogue we have that gets in
Yeah.
our way
Hmm.
of following through on what we like. And that's really what of anything that I do is
Hmm.
more just so that I can show people it can be done. You
Hmm.
just have to believe that you can do it.
Wow. I mean, that is an amazing testimony. And this is the beauty of what we do on this show is to bring people like yourself who have so much mindset in dedicating themselves into things you really love to do. And I like the way you break that out there. Very, very understandable. You live in the corporate world, but that does not stop you from going. Or age does not stop you. You
Yeah.
know, and also when you talk about the mindset thing, and that is a very big struggle for everybody. And I like the way you really actually come out to talk about it. Like you guys would do orders of, modeling in terms of showing your bodies and all those things. What does it really take for you? I don't want to say for those to come in, but for you who have already been there, what is the tension? What is the pride behind it? What is the push that really gets you up there?
Yeah, and I think in many ways it's an obsession, right?
Hmm.
But it's an obsession
Okay.
with the result.
True.
For me, the body really just becomes a byproduct of the work ethic.
Hmm.
Everyone sees the physique, but the physique is only a demonstration of the hours that go in, and there is a lot of hours. There is a lot of sacrifices
True.
made, with food, with training, with socializing, with weekends, with family, with friends. And but there is nothing more powerful than setting yourself a goal,
Hmm.
outlining it, feeling the tension and the challenge innately in yourself, and be like, God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. But imagine if I did.
Hmm.
Imagine if I created that. And
Hmm.
that's what drives me, is the challenge to be
Hmm.
like, I'm not sure I can do that. Let me
Hmm.
try.
And
And yeah.
yeah, go on. Go on. Sorry to cut you short. Go on. Yeah.
No, that's good. No, and it's just let me try. And then, because like often I had people this week, they were like, "Oh my God, you must be so excited! You what?" And I'm like, "Oh, that was last week. I'm very humble. I don't, I don't get tangled up in this stuff at all. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was good.
Hmm.
It was great, and but I always try to be quite playful with it because I don't have a vanity around it. I'm like, yeah, this is what I did, but
Hmm.
it's just that I went for a result, and that result happened to be physical.
Hmm.
Now, I'm shifting things now, going to America next week, and that result is business. And am I nervous about that? I'm speaking in front of 500 people. I'm petrified. But again, it's that inner challenge going, can I do this?
Hmm.
And that's what drives me, is that
Wow.
constant push to
Yeah.
push myself to get uncomfortable.
Hmm. I like that last point you made, to be uncomfortable. That is one of the key points. But before I come to that very one, you mentioned something about the success. That when you start to see this success, that is part of your drive, if that
Yes.
makes sense. Yeah.
Because what happens is, right, often, and where I see people failing, is they set themselves monster huge goals, right? You
Mm.
know what I mean? Very far in the distant, or I'm going to lose 20 pounds, I'm going to lose, 30 pounds, I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week, every single day. And I'm like, right, let's just set smaller, tangible goals, because when you set a smaller goal, you achieve that goal, and then that gives you a motivation to
Mm-hmm.
push a little bit further and push. So the
True.
more that you can, I go to the gym, I'll do 1 week, I'll see a little bit of a result. I'll be, oh, okay. Then I go again. I see another bit of a result and another
Mm-hmm.
bit of a result.
Mm-hmm.
And when that drives you, so I think you have to create structures in your lifestyle or in whatever you're doing, where you give yourself these little mini rewards, and
Mm-hmm.
you see yourself and you acknowledge yourself, because then you become self-motivated.
True. I, I,
Yeah.
I, I totally agree. I mean, amazing. If I'll come back to all of these old progress and processing that, let's talk about you a little bit more about your digital marketing. I know that's the corporate area which you originally started for. How is that going for you at the moment?
Yeah. The journey of entrepreneurship. I should say, oh, it's so easy. It's like it's really hard.
Oh yes,
It's
I
really,
agree.
it's really tough. And I think sometimes we have to be a bit more transparent. I'm on an app like I do, some on Clubhouse, not some, but everyone's a millionaire. Everyone is so successful. And I'm like, come on now, guys, let's all be a little bit real with each other. Every one of us is struggling in our own ways, and we create success, and then the journey goes like this. And
Yeah.
so anyway, look at, like, I did digital transformation in like corporate for 10 years, so
Mhm.
I've always been a bit techie, which is kind of the opposite of what I do. I like chatbots and technology and coding. That's actually what I like to do. But
Hmm.
so when I started to look at that, I started to look at the industries that I like to be in, which is health and fitness. Anything to do in the health and wellness space, beauty, fitness. And then what I started to go out and do was meet with business owners and be like, okay, how's your social media going? Have you automated your Instagram? Have you automated your Facebook? Are you running automated emails? Are you running Facebook ads? Are you running Google ads? And
Hmm.
that's what I do now. I literally go out, work with business owners. I do what we call a business boot camp. I do a full analysis of their entire business, give them back a report going, this is what's working, this is
Wow.
not what's not working. And we break it, because what I found is everyone knows what they should do, but they
Yes.
don't know how to put the blocks together to make it work. Because there's
Hmm.
no point in you going on Facebook, running Facebook ads, pumping a load of money into Facebook ads, if you have a landing page that's not optimized to convert for mobile, or you know what I mean, something. And that's where I see people making the mistake, is because they're not looking at the whole entity.
True.
So I do a lot of work. I'm in like health, wellness, chiropractors, hair and beauty. I'm in meal prep. I'm in fitness, but all
Wow.
things that I know. But I love it
Yeah.
because I'm a results driven person. I
Mm.
love sales, right? So I love watching my clients' numbers go up, and I love appointment bookings.
Yeah.
So then that's my standard of measurement. So let's say it's the exact same application of the mindset. I'm like, okay, we got 10 appointments this week. How do we get 20 next week? How do we
True.
get 25? So I gamify it
Yeah.
almost myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what
So
I do.
it's more or less it's the same thing you brought back. If we're talking about like the fitness and the goal, the success, the achievement, it's the same nearly tech kind of way you kind of use in that other side, because you have to grow. Once you start growing, you have to get more determination to want to go more higher.
Yeah. And I say to people all the time, I say, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And it's not that you can create like localized success, because it will filter through and everything. And if you crack,
Mm,
like if you're taking care of your physical body, like
true.
really taking care of your health and your fitness and your mindset, because it all starts there, right?
Of course.
Everything. It's very
Mm,
hard to run a very successful business if your body isn't right, if you're not feeling good, if you're not feeling healthy, because you're going to be tired, lethargic, and not want to do the work. If your mindset isn't right, you're going to be demotivated, you're not going to be feeling good, you might have anxiety, stress, all of these things. So everything is anchored on
mm,
creating these structures. And once you create the mindset, you create the body, then you put that same energy into the business, then the same business into your relationships.
mhm.
But it's all like, it cannot be separated. And I think people go, oh, I'm going to just go hard, 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 entrepreneur, hustle, 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 and then they sacrifice their health, they
Yeah,
sacrifice their relationships, and then they end up rich. And I'm like, you're rich in wealth, but you're not rich in time, and you're not rich in experience. So
that's so
therefore, for
true.
me, you're not rich,
Hmm. That
you
is so
know?
true. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. You have to look at the balance. You can't just say you're making money and you're not looking after yourself. And you cannot say you want to look after yourself when you don't put the hard work. So, which either way, there must be a balance in the both side and your own work as well. You balance all of these, and that's why you're
It's a
able to
work in progress. It's a work in progress. I'm
no,
very transparent and I'm very honest. It's a work in
no, but
progress.
at least you're doing it. That is the good
Yeah.
part about it. And also you're living in it, and you can tell. It's not like you're faking it. And the worst thing is the fake part of it, where people pretend this is who they are, but not who they are. That is a killer. So it's good you're saying this. I know my viewers or people watching today will say, "Oh, how is she be able to do all of these things? When does she have time?" Like you mentioned, there's always going to be a time, your gym time, your exercise, this are your lifestyle, and that's what you do. So you didn't do all of these overnight. I want to move on to something very special. First of all, I want to say congratulations on your championship that you won. That was amazing. How many weeks does that last for?
So how many weeks did I do my prep for, or
Yeah,
how
for
many?
that. Yeah.
So I've learned through the process of a lot of ups and downs and failures, and that in general, some people do 20 weeks, right? They do 20 weeks of diet and restriction. I admire those people, but I'm not one of those people. So what I like, I don't have that sort of discipline to be that solid for 20 weeks. So what I tend to do is
Mm.
I maintain pretty much all year round. I might go a couple of kilos up, maybe, Christmas time now, we'll put on a bit of extra cushion and
You know the story. All the chicken and everything, you have to do
yeah,
that.
because there's life too. But so then generally I give myself about 8 weeks, but I'll go about 6 to 8 weeks, but I will go hard.
Hmm.
Everything else will be removed, all like,
Wow.
literally just laser focus, and I will go hard. And that has worked incredibly well for me. But then other people they take a longer timeline. But I believe in Parkinson's law. And the longer I have to do something, the longer it's going to take me to do it. If you give me 4 weeks to do it, it'll take 4 weeks. If you give me 4 months, it'll take 4 months. So
Wow.
I'm a very deadline driven person. Give me a
Hmm.
deadline to have to work against, and I will optimize the best way to get it done in the least amount of time.
Wow. Well done, Aoife. A big round of applause for you. You know, see, I enjoy talking with people like this because there's so much we all have inside there. And people like you who have so many things, you're really inspiring a lot of other ladies out there who are either thinking, who are already in line. And if they see what you're doing, they can as well, follow up with yourself and, follow that the same kind of, inspiration. And that's what we really want. If I want to talk to you about more on people who want to do things and who tried once or failed or they're not motivated to carry themselves, especially when it comes to the kind of lifestyle we should be living, healthy food, healthy living, healthy lifestyle. What would be some of the recommendations you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is it really starts with you.
Hmm.
Like the gut and the brain, right, are actually, very, very closely connected. They say the mind body connection, right?
Hmm.
If you're filling your body with food, or like, and look, 80, I think the statistic is, after lockdown, it's just insane, like, you know what I mean, something like 80% of people are now, I have to look at the exact statistic, but it's high, are
True.
actually overweight. When you're filling your body full of foods that aren't nourishing it, and it's a lot easier to do that because you go into any of the stores are full of sugar, full of this, full of sweets, all of this kind of stuff. But your gut biome itself is not going to be good. So therefore your mindset isn't good. So it kind of becomes this vicious cycle, right? We feel bad, we get the food, we eat the food to feel good, which then in turn makes us feel bad. And then we go back around in this kind of circle again. But you are only ever one decision away from changing that cycle. One
Hmm.
decision. And that's the choice to, I would say to my clients, I'm like, I want you to look in the mirror at yourself and be like, damn, I look good naked. Yeah, I want you to be so in love with yourself that
Yeah.
everyone else loves you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
but it starts with you. And you're the only person that can change that. You have to take that responsibility to be like, I am the most important person. Because, if you say, oh, I'm too busy, my friends, my family, if you get sick because you haven't been taking care of your health and your weight, because weight being the first one that I always try to tackle with people. Well,
Hmm.
mindset and weight, but I always think they're very closely interlinked. But if you get sick, you're no good to anybody, because you can't help people if you're not in a good place yourself. It's like
True.
when when you get on the airplane and they say put your mask on first.
Yeah.
And that is it. It's like you have to get up in the morning, make that decision. So that would be one habit that I would
Hmm.
say to people: have a time that you go to bed and that you get up. Make
Hmm.
it a structure. Like, I get up now 5, used to be 5, it's a bit at 6 a.m. at the moment. Literally, I don't even have to set an alarm anymore. My body clock will wake me up. Have a routine. If you don't have a routine and you're like, I might get up at 9, I might get up at 8, I might get up at 12, you're messing up your rhythm, and that's
Hmm.
not going to be a good thing. So, master your sleep, have a time that you get up and that you go to bed at. With your food, I would definitely recommend people do some level of intermittent fasting. It's really, really good for the body. And it's very easy to lose weight when you're doing intermittent fasting. Look at your food choices. Like, we all like takeaways, but do we have to have them all the time? Could
Yeah.
we could we potentially, maybe cut out like the chips on the side order? Could we potentially have more protein in vegetables rather than,
Hmm.
carbohydrates? Make those, and it doesn't have to be big bang. Make
Hmm.
small income. Like, I had this really good one the last day. If you want to get up an hour earlier every morning. Set your alarm 1 minute for the next 60 days.
Wow.
So, and then after 60 days, you'll be getting up an hour earlier. And I was like, that's fantastic. That is a
That's not bad.
fantastic way to look at things. You know what I mean?
True.
So if you just did one little small thing every single day, where would you be in 30 days? Where would you be in 60 days? And
Hmm.
that's, yeah, so that's how and then obviously look at who are you surrounded by?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like rate the people in your life, because this is very important. Are you surrounded by positive people? Are you surrounded by negative people? Because you will become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So have a
Yeah.
close look at that and be
Yeah.
like, okay, are these
Mm-hmm.
people adding or are they taking away from me? Are they positive or are they negative? And look,
True.
we're in the situation right now is very challenging for a lot of people, but you just have to protect your own energy, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And not allow yourself to become a vacuum for other people's energy. You know, you
Hmm.
choose how you're going to hold yourself. And
Hmm.
then that when you're invested in your physical and you're invested in your mental, and to a certain level, you know, I don't want to push on anyone, but on the spiritual, you know, when you're into the self-development, you just will see changes
Hmm.
positively, physically, mentally, emotionally, but it just takes a little bit of time and a bit
Hmm.
of effort. And
Mm-hmm.
also, the other key thing, don't really tell anyone what you're doing because everyone will have an opinion on it. Do you know what I mean? Keep it to yourself, do
Yeah.
your own thing until you start to see the results, or until it gets to a point where people will come and ask you what you're doing. What are you
Hmm.
doing? You know, because they get curious because they start to see the change.
Yeah, but you see, sometimes the two things I'll ask you there. One of them is consistency. Consistency
Yeah.
is a very big challenge, you know. And then the second one is, even though we try to want to keep certain things that is new to us and we find it very exciting, it's hard sometimes to keep it, you know,
Yeah.
to kind of see. But what I want to ask there is the consistency. Is that a bigger challenge in this process?
Consistency will always be a challenge if it's not planned.
Mm-hmm.
That's my time. So literally, like with my gym now, like this week I'm off, but with my gym, it is a non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable. That 90 minutes is non-negotiable, right? Because that's working me towards my main goal. Now, at the moment, like especially now coming up this week, going to America, and everything that's going to happen over the next 2 weeks is going to be hugely overwhelming. But my non-negotiable will from the next 2 weeks will be my meditation in the morning,
Mm.
my meditation, because I know I'm going to be put into a lot of environments with a lot of new people where I'll probably feel inferior and insecure and all of these things because it's going to be new. And I'm like,
Mm.
okay, well, you know, so my non-negotiable will be sitting with myself for like half an hour in the morning and connecting with my emotions and connecting with my mental health and knowing that. So you have to find what are your non-negotiables, and
Mm.
that then you create the consistency around the non-negotiables.
Wow.
And then when you make it every day, you're like, well, I said I was going to go to the gym 5 days a week. That's a non-negotiable on my consistency list, so
True.
I have to go. And then you set those up. But what happens is people they make them discretionary. I might
Mm.
go to the gym. I might meditate. Do
Am
you know what I
I?
mean? Yeah, I might. Oh, I would love to, but I'm so busy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah.
but you have to outline the consistency comes from clearly defining what are your non-negotiables.
Wow. Wow. If before you go, I know we're running out of time there, but I know you're going to the States next week and you'll be speaking in front of nearly about 500 people. You have all the celebrities, all the people gonna be there.
It's crazy. It's exciting. It's really
It's
exciting.
exciting, you know, all the big names from talk shows to all the different areas of, you know, entrepreneurs and all the businesses. So give us a little bit light on that. Don't give too much, because I want people to really follow more about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think it comes actually down to when we talk about consistency. So I met JT when he was speaking on stage with Gary Vee in 2018. It was October 2018 in the LA, downtown LA, in one of the sports centers. So I met him there 2018. Then I met him in Dublin in 2019, and then we had COVID, the pandemic.
Mhm.
I maintained and built that relationship consistently over the last 2 years.
Mm.
Always, supporting, working with him, coaching with him, talking to him, building networking with him, consistently showing up every single day. And he's
Wow.
like, oh, you should come to America, come out and speak at the event.
Wow.
So, and then people would see, and I'll just go there and they'll be like, oh, they don't realize I've been working on that for 2 solid years
Mm.
behind the scenes, just not telling anyone about it. Working
Wow.
on it and working on it and working on it. And how can I add value and bring? So we go out, I fly out on Wednesday and then I'm out there. I have 9 days with all of 1 week in LA and then 9 days out there with, like Gillian, Michael, like we're not even getting the list of A-list celebrities because they don't want, in case but it's going to be really great. But I think that's also something, dream big.
Oh, yes.
Big. When I do my I create the top 100 of the people I like to meet, and then I like start to concoct plans in my mind about how I'm going to meet them, and you would be so surprised when you plant that seed in your mind about, okay, how can I create this or how can I make this possible? You know what I mean? Then you start to find ways to make that materialize.
Sure.
But you have to, again, you just put in the effort and you just be consistent and you keep showing up and then you get the results.
Amazing, Aoife. What a way on how we celebrate this, your success, your journey, your testimony. You are amazing. There's so much I wanted to ask you on this, but I want to reserve this. Because I want to bring you back on this show again.
Okay.
So we
Thank
can
you so
really, really dive into a lot of things because you have so much in there that will really inspire a lot of people. So I'm very proud to see women like yourself who are going out there to push yourself. And you've mentioned so many inspirational stuff where success does not come to meet you unless you work towards it. I think that's one of the things I actually put on my Facebook this morning. That's what I said. I said, you cannot sit back and wait for success to come in. You cannot sit down there and think, oh, I want to be this place. I want to get to this place, but you're not making any efforts. But your testimony share what I just shared this morning, meaning that I've been working for this for 2 years. Consistency, getting in touch, following up, attending meetings, making all these things possible. Today, this is where you're going. So, what else can one ask for? Thank you so much for coming on the show. We wish you all the best, but please keep in touch, And before we let you go, have you a website that would like, my viewers to get in touch?
Yeah, amazing. So for my agency, so with the agency work, that's www.attentiongrabbers.ie, because we like to grab attention. So that's I created a company called Attention Grabbers. It was very obvious. And then I have my fitness app that I have is www.aoiferochefitness.com, or as you can find me on Instagram, it's Dream Fit, which is dedication, repetition, energy, ambition, and motivation. So Dream Fit.
I say nothing anymore. I say nothing anymore. And I promise you this for now. But Aoife, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We wish you best of luck in all you do. Keep strong, keep progressing, keep succeeding. And that's your goal for you.
Thank you so much, Chris. I love your energy and thank you so much for what you're doing.
Appreciate that. All right, viewers, I hope this is where we're all going to wrap the show up today. Thank you to all my guests. Thank you to the wonderful Aoife for coming on the show to share a lot of inspiration. And if you want to know more, well, we're going to put all of this information on the screen. Make sure you go check this wonderful, amazing lady out. So we come your way next week. Take care and God bless. Bye for now.